What's good, man? We back at it again with another reaction video. So my boy Tommy G pulled up to Old Block, man. Let's get it. Before we start the video, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, man.
Do you guys have any stories of what you've seen in O Block over the years? I know you had bear mace on you. Have you ever used it?
I use it a few times.
To be able to be a big brother for these brothers, to be able to show them that it's more to just streets.
Nah, big facts.
Tommy G.
Yo, hey, I'm Gleech, man. Welcome to this place they call O Block, you see what I'm saying? Shout out to Muslim Maddox and my boy Tommy G, come on.
Okay. Boys in the hood.
Go on a pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia.
I'm going to Saudi Arabia.
You are?
Man, I'm going to make a touch of Kaaba outlet.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Chicago's O Block is one of the most notorious housing projects in the country. O Block has been home to many notable people throughout its history. Chief Keef, King Von, Little Dirk, and even former First Lady Michelle Obama. The apartment complex is located on 64th and MLK Drive on Chicago's South Side. It was built in 1950 to house the influx of African Americans coming to
That shit used to
Chicago
look
during the
different
Second
back
Great
then. That's
Migration.
crazy.
Upon its opening, it was celebrated as the first African American co-op in the country, and it was noted for having high quality and spacious units relative to the other low-income housing on the market. As the ownership of the co-op went private in the 1980s, the quality of the units began to decline, and violence in the area increased as jobs moved overseas and drugs flooded the streets. In 2011, O Block earned its name in honor of 20-year-old resident O.D. Perry, who was shot dead by a
O.D.
rival
Perry.
gang member. From then on, O Block's infamous reputation as a dangerous area began to spread around the country, and it's since been known as one of Drill Rap's ground zero locations. As of recently, a new movement has been growing in O Block, Islam. I learned about this from two Muslim YouTube channels, and this got me connected to Gleech, an O Block Muslim spreading the word on his faith. It brings the question, is this the movement that can bring peace and safety back to the area? Let's hit the streets and explore this more.
Think about it, cause everybody not everybody wanna be, but some people are Muslim, and some people wanna be.
We were 11 years old when we met.
Cause it's a valid religion. Well, every religion is valid, to be honest, but everybody have their own opinion. Feel me?
More money, more problems, bitch, I ain't tripping, cause I want it all. My haters been robbing, my haters been trapping, trying to get shit off.
Folks, we're on our way to the notorious O Block to explore a very interesting story that's been developing, which is a large conversion to Islam by many of the residents. And I'm curious to discover the impact Islam is having on O Block, because to me, you might disagree with a lot of things about religion, but I do think religion gives you the old school values that people can agree on. Like don't steal, don't covet, don't lust. Things that can guide your life and are solid advice. I grew up in a really religious family. I attended a mega church when I was a kid, Willow Creek, South Barrington.
Mega
It's an enormous
church.
place. They literally have a shuttle bus from your parking spot to the front. That's how big this church is. While some Bible stories I find helpful or meaningful, a lot of the Bible is hard for me to, especially the Old Testament, is really hard for me to like or enjoy or see why anyone would subscribe to it. But as a kid, I always saw my mom was deeply religious. Like she spent every morning reading the Bible, studying, and she's a cool Christian. Like she's someone I can go say, hey mom, I just went to a jungle in Ecuador and I did ayahuasca. She doesn't judge you for it. I really
That's
love my
bad.
mom. She's one of my best friends because I can tell her anything and she doesn't approach me with judgment. I think there's a lot of value in good religious people in a society. I don't know a ton about Islam, so I'm intrigued to learn more. Also, when you mix O Block with it, man, this is an interesting story coming fresh off the press. So we'll see you when we get closer to O Block.
Hey, first things first, we got hot boy cooking. I'm in the yoga and stuff off.
Yeah, it's crazy, chat, because I would love to do the same shit Tommy G be doing, pulling up to niggas' hoods and shit.
It's kind of a intimidating
Vibing
place
with a
because
nigga.
it looks
Feel
like a
me?
mixture
See
of
where
a place
niggas
to live
from,
and a
man.
prison. Like you have fences with sharp little points. It's all
Only
fenced
y'all
in.
can make it
There's
happen,
old
though, feel
security
me?
force
Like,
in O Block. It's
obviously
a place
me
that's
too,
been
like,
in there, it's hard
I
to
got a
find.
grind for
What's
this
up,
joint.
Don't film?
Yeah, it's dangerous, my boy. My boy Tommy trying to feel as soon as walking in a block.
Cool.
Like,
Sounds
you
good.
had
The
it.
t-shirts are on the site right now, flying off the shelves. But even cooler, the Big Dog Gotta Eat sweatshirt. They sold out in 36 hours last time. Get yours. Freshest thing on the market right now. Big Dog's gotta eat, especially during Ramadan. After the sun goes down, you gotta eat. You know what I mean? Rep the movement.
Fucking
Get it while
cut.
supplies
I see him
last.
in the
Appreciate your
background.
support. TommyGMickey.com. What's up, bro? Good to meet you. Tell us where we are right now.
Man, we going right here on King's Drive. That's O Block, actually. That's where we finna go.
Let's give you the backstory on
I hate chilling. I think y'all peep him in the background.
Close friends, and he even had a song named after him called Gleech Place with 23 million views. This is a track
That's
about home
crazy.
invasions and robberies and features a story where King Bong hit a lick for $50,000.
My boy was rapping about hitting licks.
Whereupon
My boy
Bong
won't be
became discussing about
wildin'.
buying cars and guns with the proceeds. I often try and do very little research on people before meeting so I can get an unbiased impression of who they are today versus who they were in the past. So I was unaware of Gleesh's relationship with Vaughn when I met him today in O-Block. Gleesh is a fashion designer, he's a rapper, and he's the front runner of the O-Block Muslim movement. Let's meet the man.
What's up, big guy? You good? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my uncle. He was telling me he had some brothers in Parkwood.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Tell us what you got on right now. That's new attire I haven't seen yet.
Oh, yeah. I got my throw on, my Muslim throw, my kufi, my Muslim chain.
Was it hard to start rocking that? Because that's not typical outfit in this area.
I had to get used to it.
Do people ask you a lot of questions when they see you wearing that?
Yeah, they think it's a drug. I don't take that.
That's wild.
Yeah. What percent of people around here you think know about the Muslim movement?
Muslims throughout the world.
Arguably the biggest religion in the world.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
How long have you been involved in it?
Like 2-3 years. Right now it's Ramadan. Right now.
How you feeling?
I'm good, but I can't eat or drink.
I knew guys on my wrestling team that were Muslim wrestlers, and so they would go an entire practice without eating or drinking, and that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, it takes discipline. It's really a man thing. Man over matter.
Man over matter, big facts.
Last time I was here, the security here is pretty tight.
Yeah, they tight right now. They real tight.
So does that mean that O-Block has gotten safer?
Everywhere all the same. It's just they got to tighten up their security, so that's the type of stuff they do.
This arguably could be the most notorious project in the entire country. Is that a
Look,
bullet hole right there?
That's a bullet hole, but it's natural. You go somewhere else and bullet hole.
Happy Ramadan. How are you?
Alright.
What does Ramadan mean to you guys?
I mean, a lot of things.
Not just eating and drinking.
Be nice to other people.
Yeah, he's one of the guys I look up to too. He make sure I'm good. He feel me.
You have to care for other people. They teach you that there's a lot of people that don't have no food or things.
Try to feed the people got no food, gang. Like, oh God, bro. Y'all able to get access to food, man. You feel me? Or bless other people, man. God gonna bless you one day.
I never met a Gleesh before.
Look,
Big Vaughn.
they just call me Gleek. They just made his name. Okay, I'll ring with it.
Is Vaughn looked at as a hero or a villain?
Vaughn is a hero.
Yeah.
Everybody always looking at somebody bad. He's a hero.
Because some people love him for who he was as a rapper. Some people are like, that guy was a serial killer.
Nah, he ain't no killer at all. That's a good guy, man. He made everybody really start loving each other.
I didn't realize Gleesh and Vaughn had been close friends when I asked this question, but let me give you some background as to why I asked about Vaughn. By many within O-Block in Chicago, Vaughn was heralded as a rap hero who broke out the mold of poverty and launched himself into superstar.
Got a drop on this flexing nigga.
Tennessee,
His lyrics stood out for both his fantastic storytelling ability and the extreme violence of his words, but some suspect his rapping was more than just storytelling. In fact, YouTube's premier hip-hop historian, Trap Lore Ross, has a detailed and exhaustive 3.5-hour analysis proclaiming King Von to be rap's first serial killer. And King Von himself literally put out tweets like, "Man, I'm just trying to kill, and I can name 5 GDs I done killed." All this aside, I wasn't here to speak with Gleesh about King Von or violence from the past. I was here to learn about his story and about the spread of Islam through O-Block.
Hey.
You get the camera now. Hit the camera. So we walk in.
Till we get past it. We're in the fortress now. It's not easy to get into O-Block, huh? How long you been here for?
Quite a while. It's a beautiful place. It's like everywhere else.
How you doing, man? I'm Tommy. Are you guys Muslims too?
Nah, they ain't Muslims.
People in O-Block are thinking about joining. What would you say are like the
Tommy,
selling points? Why should they
I said
join?
Johnny. Tommy asking everybody
to
who's
get
Muslim.
experience on their own. You gotta learn stuff to do it. I can just tell you, oh, you should be Muslim.
What has it brought into your life?
A lot of beautiful things.
Yeah, like what?
I got a business. I got all types of stuff on my stuff.
Before you were Muslim to now, like what's changed for you?
We discipline, the way I act with other people.
Do you feel like being a Muslim has helped you to treat other people better?
Yeah, it's the way you act, the way you dress, the way you talk, all that, and caring about others, like, you know.
I feel like especially for young men, if we are disciplined, there's so much we can accomplish in this life. But if we're not disciplined, we're kind of a, I don't want to say we take up space, but we're not what we could be. Forgive me the two.
It's crazy because if you realize
You guys are going to lose.
you realize that Tommy G is good for conversations. He's always conversating with anybody in the hood. He's always valid. Like,
Think about all that.
I mean,
really think he got questions lined up and all that shit. My boy be ready, bro. Like, that's why I fuck with my boy Tommy G, gang.
Where are we right now?
Yeah, my mom, I'm gonna move out of there soon.
Where do you want to move to?
I'm gonna move somewhere nice.
You want to stay in Chicago? You want to move out of the city? You want to move out of the state?
Eventually, it's to move out of Chicago, though.
Yeah. How many guys in this room are Muslims?
They Muslim.
So what do you think about joining Islam or becoming a Muslim? What do you think about it? Do you think, hey, this is something I want to do one day, or is it like, it's not for me?
I don't know. Yeah, it's the process to take time.
Especially something like that is a big commitment. It's not like you're just done with it in a day. Like if you commit to being a Muslim, like that's a big new life change, you know? I grew up in a very Christian family, but I've never felt called to dedicate my life to it, you know, because it's like you have to really change everything you do from that point on.
Like, yeah, you can be Christian, whatever. Like, I don't know what they do, like, probably like discipline, like with this time, like.
I mean, it depends. Muslims are a lot more disciplined than Christians.
Yeah,
like,
like
5
they,
times
like,
a day. I would say, like, the disciplined Christians, like my mom, every day when she wakes up, she reads the Bible, prays.
Nah, yeah,
A lot of
that's a
Christians
fact.
don't do that.
My mom do that shit, and my grandpa,
Do you
I
have to
ain't
own
gonna lie.
anything to be in Islam? Like, do you have to buy, like, a prayer rug or anything like that?
Nah, I got a couple of them in the room, though.
Yeah? You want to show us?
Yeah, it's one do something.
When I'm
My boy got different rugs too.
If I'm sitting in
That
headphones,
drivel.
I love headphones. What happened in your life that you're like, this is where I want to
The
do?
discipline, I was just doing a lot of stuff. Like, it didn't want to. It just made me get on anything I was supposed to get on, like, as far as my business and all that.
How did you hear about it?
Really, Vaughn, uncle. Yeah,
King Von's
yeah.
uncle?
Yeah, King Von, uncle, then my other brother Sadiq. He been around since we was little, since then.
Is he from Old Block too?
And he's been around for a while.
Do you think the FBI knows about? Because I know Muslim groups in the past, like when Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, they had their eyes on that shit. Have you guys ever been visited by like any FBI guy asking about Muslims?
Police are real anyway. We don't worry about this. I don't worry at all.
Well, I think if you're doing nothing wrong, you got nothing to worry about.
Alhamdulillah, that's what you said. Ain't nothing going on wrong, you know what I'm saying?
What does your mom think about it when you told her you're Muslim?
She love it.
Is it easier to get men to join or women, or do you get both to join?
A little easier for the man to join, but like, you gotta have the sisters around. They gotta really get the right feel of it, you know what
I feel like Islam's a lot tougher for a woman because there's more rules for a woman.
I mean? Ain't nothing tough though, it ain't nothing tough.
I mean,
You can do whatever you put your mind to.
do you think
Oh,
you ever want to
God.
go on a pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia? The pilgrimage, also known as the Hajj, is the fifth pillar of Islam and is something that every adult Muslim must do at least once in their life. Each year, millions journey to Mecca, shedding titles and distinctions to stand as equals before God. Through rituals rich in symbolism, pilgrims seek spiritual renewal and forgiveness. But the Hajj is more than just a ritual. It's a bond of brotherhood and unity, transcending borders and cultures. It was on his pilgrimage that Malcolm X met Muslim brothers from all corners of the globe, and where he changed his opinion on race relations forever. Through the GoFundMe link in my description, we can fund Chicago Muslim brothers on their trip to Mecca, and hopefully be a small part of helping Chicago to be a more peaceful place. Please consider donating.
I'm going to Saudi Arabia.
You are?
Man, I'm going to Mecca, touch the Kaaba, all that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll be there.
You know that in Afghanistan, in some places, if you get caught listening to music, they'll like beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane, isn't it? That's in the city, that's how it is. So people that aren't from here are hip to this. Explain that. Break that down a little bit more.
Don't go in the wrong area and listen to the wrong stuff. In reality, you can listen to whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying?
Just with the windows up. There's some music I listen to that I would listen to with the windows up because I'm a little embarrassed if someone would hear me. You guys ever heard of Creed before? Yeah. You're either gonna love this or hate this. I'm gonna just show you a little sample. I'm gonna play like 10 seconds of a song. You tell me if you rock it.
Like,
You're just chilling in the car, driving home from the club. You guys feeling this at all or no? No. We were just in New York and it's the same thing, where you can only listen to certain guys in certain areas, otherwise it gets treacherous really quickly.
Yeah. A lot of songs would be like a lot of disrespect towards other people's neighborhoods.
Nah, big facts.
You wouldn't want to go in this area and play this.
And play that song, yeah, while niggas getting dissed and they dissing supposedly they ops and dead people. Shit is crazy.
We don't really too much care about that.
As a Muslim, do you feel like you can go to any neighborhood and you're okay? Like, does that give you more like
Nah, you always gotta try to count them up. Don't never get me wrong. And what I mean by that, you don't just go doing stuff you naturally don't do.
So how do you think Chicago would change if a lot more people became Muslim?
So we can stick together like an iron fist. We can get what we need and what we want, and everybody can be alright.
To unite the people.
Exactly.
Anytime there's a movement of people that get united, whether it's MLK, JFK, Malcolm X, somehow that leader gets taken out. You know what I mean? If the
I don't really
government,
worry about that because it's like, it's no point. Like, all we doing is this stuff.
but the government fears when people unite. Let's explore how the FBI has historically responded to black political movements. Let's take you back to the 1960s when the Black Power
crazy.
movement was sweeping through the United States. This originated as a militant response to the slow progress of civil rights reforms on a national level. The rise of the Black Power movement alarmed the FBI. Under Director J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI viewed the movement as a threat to national security. Through a counterintelligence program called COINTELPRO, a series of covert and at times illegal activities were used by the FBI to infiltrate, discredit, and disrupt black activist organizations. On December 4th of 1969, the aggressive tactics of COINTELPRO culminated in a tragic and controversial event, the assassination of Fred Hampton, the Black Panthers Illinois chairman. In coordination with the Chicago PD, the FBI orchestrated a pre-dawn raid on Hampton's apartment. Based on detailed floor plans of the apartment provided by the FBI informant who had infiltrated the Black Panthers, law enforcement executed the raid while Hampton was asleep. Armed
That's
officers
crazy.
stormed the apartment, and in the hail of gunfire that followed, Fred Hampton and fellow Panther Mark Clark were killed. Forensic analysis later revealed revealed that most bullets were aimed at Hampton's bedroom, and evidence strongly suggested that Hampton, who had been sedated by barbiturates, likely slipped in by the informant, was shot at point-blank range, ensuring his death.
Yeah,
The official narrative initially claimed that the Panthers opened fire on the police, provoking a defensive response. However, subsequent investigations and outcry led to a different understanding. The raid had effectively been a targeted assassination of Hampton. Their deaths were not just a loss to the Black Power movement, but a devastating blow to the wider civil rights movement, and just one of the many examples that symbolize the extreme measures our government is willing to take to suppress black leadership in a time.
Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah, big facts.
I'm on the right path, and the people around me is on the right path, so we don't worry about it.
Inshallah. What's important to you guys?
Each other, our kids, our families, like others like, that's one thing, but it ain't the biggest thing.
When you're dead and gone, is there anything that you will want to have accomplished or want your legacy to be? Like,
So make sure all our people do, like father our kids, that we want to be one of them left with things and stuff like that, business and stuff like that, for the long term goal, and you and your people.
do you have to figure out which way Mecca is?
It's this way.
Yeah?
Pull your compass out and see which way to it.
Love you praying this way though.
Yeah, you can't pray that way.
I also say that, Gator. But you know, I can get none of my west.
Who is it? Okay,
I'm Tommy.
What's up? Tommy G, my boy.
Nice to meet you, man. I like the throbe too. How long have you been rocking the throbe and being in the Muslim?
Bro, Paul does start
What
interviewing
happened in your
everybody.
life that you're like, this is what I want to do?
By me being younger, I was forced to Christianity. But I only used to like the music at church. One of the brothers had talked to me, I had a conversation, and I was engaged in it. But before I even converted over to become Muslim, I was looking into it. Before I get myself into something, look into it, you know? And it caught my attention. So when I finally took my Shahada, opened my eyes to a lot of great.
What is the Shahada?
The Shahada is basically you converting over.
What does it take? Like to do a Shahada? Is it just like a statement out loud, or what do you have to do to?
Yeah, you basically at the end of service, Juma, to recite it in English and Arabic.
What kind of church, when you were in Christian church, was it a Baptist church?
Yeah.
How long was that service?
1 hour, 2 hours.
Because in Milwaukee, I went to a few different Baptist churches. They would take like 3 hours, so I had to retire. That was too much for me.
Yeah.
Like an hour in here, I'm like, I just want to get up and like start moving, start doing push-ups, start running around.
Yeah, at least to wake up,
It
man.
just opened my eyes up to a lot of things that I really truly believed in. Because it's hard for me to get to believing in a lot of stuff. No disrespect to no Christians or nothing. I felt that certain things that was in the Bible wasn't describing the picture that they was trying to make.
Is there anything you had to leave behind when you became a Muslim? Like anything you had to stop doing or do differently?
Like now, it's month of Ramadan, I had to leave a lot of habits, a lot of bad habits. I had to stop eating pork. A lot of favorite candies I can't eat no more.
everybody around you, they your brother. That's one thing about Muslims. They ain't trying to knock you down. They ain't trying to down you or none of that. You see what I'm saying? No one's bigger than no one. You feel me? They treat you like brothers.
So question for both of you is like when you did that publicly, did you feel anything in your heart immediately after? What was going through your head right after you
I'm like,
did
man,
that?
I just burnt it over. Like, man, crazy.
I felt love, even around a bunch of people I didn't know.
What did your family think when you went back home and told them what happened?
It was surprising, but they loved it.
Depending on how I feel, I might go get a couple, take about 50 people some food or something. That's how I feel.
Is giving back part of Islam?
It's brutal. I really do it on a regular, like, you feel me? Like,
Where is this?
Battle Expressway, I bought like 60 pieces and gave them back.
How do you feel when you do that?
I feel brutal.
I feel like there's something that you realize once you do start to give back, you realize it makes you feel really good, it makes the other person feel good. Like giving back is probably one of the best things we can do.
For sure. You just fed 2,500 people. Families, man, like 2,500, man, pull up. Right here. Do events with the kids. They got pizzas, you got everything. Come out, they got face paint. It's like all of them.
It's not for us that we're looking to receive anything back or anything. We're really doing it because Allah sent us to do this.
This is your clothing line?
That's me, LLC, business owner, whatever. However you want to put it, however you want to say.
Oh, you got sweaters.
Yeah, I
You're
feel
the
it.
first dude I've ever seen sell sweaters.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm all wearing a sweater.
How can people find this brand?
They got DM me, 6, Glees Hack _, you know what I'm saying? Finna had a website up and running.
What does the 31 mean on the sweater?
That's how many colors I'm playing on drop.
That's a lot of colors.
I got 2 kids, it's for them though.
What has being a Muslim taught you about being a father or teaches you about being a father?
I really gotta stand on business for them, like, you feel me? I don't really care about none of this for me, you know what I'm saying?
You have to stand on business for your kids, bro. Oh, God, everybody, bro.
over time as you've grown up here? Got better, worse, different? What's changed?
This is what they make it, bro. They just, it's perfect to me. It's brutal. And it's not what they think it is or what they say, bro.
So what are you going to eat tonight once you're done with your fast?
It depends. I might go to the mall to break my fast, but if not, it's easy. I still eat regular stuff as long as it's not pork or nothing like that.
So we're leaving Old Block. Where we head next?
So we're going to the mansion, man. Undisclosed location. I ain't gonna tell y'all that. Y'all gonna see when we get there.
This is not an easy place to come in and come out. As you can see, look, they got this on lock. You gotta show an ID. You gotta go through a checkpoint. This place is on lockdown, man. Do you guys have any stories of what you've seen in Old Block over the years?
These the best people y'all need to run to. Y'all don't run to my people. Them don't look. They go look. They make sure everything's secure.
But I noticed you had bear mace on you. Have you ever used it?
I use it a few times.
What was the situation you used it in?
That's your boy. Crowd get too crazy.
Crowd control.
Oh, we be getting up.
What, you want me to ask me any questions?
I don't want to be right here. We can't be sitting right here too long.
Like statistically, if
You
you want to
know
be
God,
involved
but
in
wanna stay in
violence,
front of the
it's
entrance.
usually late night, it's usually alcohol, and it's usually people that know each other. So if you don't cause any issues, it's probably going to be rare that someone's going to try and cause an issue with you. O-Block is no different, but...
O-Block is so bad, like that.
Is it?
Yes, O-Block so bad.
What makes you say that?
We had a fight.
There's a lot of fights here?
Yes.
How often do fights happen around
Bro,
here?
interviewing a little kid, man.
Saw 'em at the park. Yeah, park. They shoot at the park so much.
A shootout?
Yes.
What is that like?
I don't know. I don't know.
How old are you?
I'm 11.
11?
I'm 8th grade.
Oh, 8th grade.
And what's 10 times 10?
100.
Okay.
20 plus 20?
Yeah.
You tell me.
40.
40? Hey, keep studying hard, alright, brother? Have a good day, okay?
Okay.
We're hopping the car. We're gonna follow them to the mosque.
As a landlord or property manager, are you tired of endless calls, texts, and spreadsheets?
Come on.
So we want to take a deeper dive into Islam and why it's attracting people to join. It's the fastest growing religion in the world right now. One way it's spreading in America is in the prison system. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about that history right now. Since World War II, Islam has steadily grown throughout the U.S. prison system. The Moorish Temple and the Nation of Islam are the two primary forces behind this movement. Much of the momentum came after Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad and around 100 other members of the group were sentenced to prison for World War II draft evasion, and in their time at prison, they began to spread the message of Islam. Through the 1960s, Islam continued to spread through prisons. The two main factors driving this was the increase of incarcerated black men and the empowerment and popularity of the civil rights movement. Furthermore, the 1962 court case Fullwood v. Clummer ruled that incarcerated Muslims had a legal right to practice their religion. The increase in prominence of Islam did come with challenges, however. Many Muslim prisoners were denied by guards the ability to spread religious literature and the ability to meet and conduct religious services. In one such case, Cooper v. Pate, refusal of access to religious texts in Illinois Stateville Prison was ruled unconstitutional and a violation of the freedom of religion by the Supreme Court. These challenges would increase following the September 11th attacks. The U.S. Bureau of Prisons froze the hiring of Islamic chaplains following the attacks in an attempt to reduce radicalization among the inmates. Today, Islam is the fastest growing religion throughout the U.S. prison system, with an estimated 80% of imprisoned converts becoming Muslim and an estimated 35,000 to 40,000 converts coming every single year. One of the appeals of Islam is that the structure and brotherhood of the religion is an attractive alternative to the danger and chaos of the streets. I always recommend 3 biographies to people: Benjamin Franklin, Teddy Roosevelt, and Malcolm X. Those are biographies that I might read once a year of each of those guys, just because they lived such interesting and purpose-driven lives. So,
Yeah, I heard a lot about Malcolm X. I did
a lot of people think that he's a black separatist, that he wanted to split black and white people up. And for part of his life he did when he was in the Nation of Islam. Then he went on his pilgrimage to Mecca, and he saw white brothers from Chechnya, he saw Middle Eastern brothers from Syria, he saw people from all across the world, and he realized we all are one, we all can be brothers. He died tragically just as his career was taking off, and I think it could have made a positive difference. So let's cover his assassination. Malcolm X is one of the essential characters in the story of the Black Muslim movement. He was born in 1925, and his life quickly became hectic. When he was 3, his family had to move from Omaha because of threats from the KKK. When he was 6, his father's bizarre and tragic death convinced Malcolm it was the work of white supremacists. His father's death drove his mother to insanity and led to her becoming institutionalized in a mental hospital. Malcolm began to find trouble as a juvenile, and his criminal activity led him to become a ward of the state by the age of 14. He was assigned to a boarding school under the supervision of a white family. At this boarding school, he excelled academically and socially, and he developed aspirations to become a lawyer. However, his English teacher shot down his dreams and told him that as a Negro, he should set his sights lower on
That's
becoming a
crazy.
janitor or carpenter. Experiencing a massive frustration with the white world he felt limited by, he moved to black-dominated Harlem and began a life of crime. He and his friend Shorty ran a burglary ring, and he supplemented his income with pimping and selling reefer. Outside of crime, he became well known around town for his dance moves, his zoot suits, and he tore up Lindy Hop dance clubs. Eventually, he was caught for his crimes and sent to prison. It was here his life changed and he discovered Islam. He joined the Nation of Islam and educated himself in prison by reading every book he could get his hands on. It was tragically cut short.
Interesting.
Start coming down. Because it can take years to get something off the ground. It's exciting to see. Allah gonna make it easy. Yeah, Allah gonna make it easy. Natural material, while the Sunnis are not. Audio didn't record, but what he did say over and over again is, "This is beautiful. This is beautiful." He was just contagious with his positive energy. He was excited to come back to Chicago and spread the message even more. So I'm excited that him and Sadiq got to go on this trip, and I'm excited for the future of Chicago and the possibility that they can bring into the city. I do believe this is a life-changing trip. Again, if you want to donate to the GoFundMe, the link is in the description.
Shit, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I skipped that video. This is a long ass fucking video, but I appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all comment, subscribe, and turn post notification, and I'll catch y'all in the next video, man.